Hello and welcome to this brief presentation about annotated sketches as an ideation technique. They can be just sketches, but I think an annotated sketch is better than just a plain sketch. So our learning intention is that students can explain the purpose of an annotated sketch as an ideation technique, and this presentation is intended for VCE computing students. So what do we mean by ideation? Well, the study design says that it's a process for generating and developing ideas that follows a cycle starting with a concept through to developing a design. I think that your annotated sketch is probably squarely in the middle of that process. What ideation tools? Oh yes, ideation tools. So I'm going to have different presentations about mood boards, brainstorming, mind maps, and sketches and annotations, which is this one. Sorry, I got slightly confused by the order of my own presentation. So, looking at this image here, this gives us a pretty good idea of what an annotated sketch is. There's enough detail that we can say, oh yeah, okay, I get a sense of what this is going to look like. You might want to run this by the client. I think it's probably a bit early in the process, but it gives you enough to have some feedback and for people who are involved in the design to all be on the same page and say, oh, okay, I can see what you're doing here. That's what the annotation is for. Rather than leaving too much up to the imagination, you put comments on it so that it's obvious what the various things do. A good UX or user experience or user, what's the other one? User interface, UI, is obvious, but I think it's worth making it explicit at this point, even if it is pretty obvious, such as the add task button and what it does. You can sketch it out very quickly. The idea is to make it quickly and to not have too much technology in between you and the expressing of the idea. So you don't want to get fiddly with it. It's a quick and informal visual representation. It's low cost in terms of time and money. Requires minimal technical skill. Pretty much anybody should be able to draw one of these, and it encourages creative thinking and iteration. So you should just be able to say, okay, let's see if we can do better. Let's put that one to the side. Let's make a new one, taking the best ideas there. Okay, let's move to the next one. And you should be able to belt them out fairly quickly. I wouldn't be spending more than sort of 10 or 15 minutes on a design. And it helps communicate your complex ideas quickly. There are various tools available for this. You could just use paper and pencil. In fact, I think that would be a fantastic idea. There is digital sketching software. Of course, a whiteboard's a pretty good way to do it, and then maybe take a photo of it if you want to keep it. And there is specialised UX and UI designs. This is it's a freemium product called Mockups that I quite like. Now, I think that I would find myself getting bogged down in detail. I think the danger with these tools is that you can be so specific in it that you could find yourself spending hours creating a single mock-up, and then when you're talking to people about it, kind of you're fighting with the software for, oh, let's say I'll try and change this. I would be using something like this later in the process where you're probably more documenting a design than just generating and throwing them out, but you've got all of these opportunities. And at the end, I would ask you, what's one benefit of creating an annotated sketch early in your software development process? And that's the end of that presentation. I hope it told you something you didn't already know.